Okay guys, yesterday when we had BP off of Maddox, we were all late, and that is fine. You guys did a good job of adjusting. One thing that we said to a few players to try and help the adjustment was to get the front foot down earlier. And what we mean by that is the front foot of the load and the little stride here down a little earlier. And I want to talk a little bit about what we mean by that, because that phrase can sometimes cause more harm than help, and I don't want that to happen. Sometimes I wonder if I'd even say that, because I'll just tell you where it causes harm is when people make that stride and they have a big pause and then they swing and they mess up the rhythm and the timing of the swing. And that's what we're trying to fix here, is that all important second most important part of hitting. So remember, number one, the most important part to hit the ball is to see the ball, and then two is to be on time. All we're trying to help you do is be on time. And until the feet are firmly established to the ground and strong into the ground, we cannot launch a strong swing. If that front foot is up in the air and you swing, it's not strong at all. What we mostly see is like the load here, and I'm late. No, shoot, I need to kind of make like an emergency swing. So yesterday we saw a lot of emergency swings. Oh shoot. And you kind of like rush, you never establish the ground, it's just like barely getting there, and then, oh shoot, got to swing. And it kind of looks like that. Versus if you start it all earlier and get to the ground like you should, and then launch from there. So it should be, instead of, oh shoot, it should be, yep, I'm here, and boom. But you can't have it until this is firmly anchored. We'll have to talk about using the ground in the swing for the rest of your career, because it's so important in the kind of kinetic chain of things to start with the ground, and that's that. If getting the front foot down isn't a term that we think is working for you, we might just change it for you and say, hey, start the trigger earlier. Get it started sooner. Get things moving sooner. Start your feet are behind. Get your feet going earlier. And maybe that'll work for you, so you can kind of think of it that way. So one question that would come in is, okay, Kyle, well, when should that front foot be down? Like, when should it be down? I will answer it like this. Everybody's load is a lot different, and at this point, our swings are very different. And so there's a little bit of a range. It's going to be anytime, at some point, between when the ball is coming out of the hands, like right when it's released, and when it's about halfway to you. Most pros, it'll be halfway to you, but there's a lot more consistency in a professional baseball player swing. There's all kinds of different loads, all kinds of different stances, all kinds of, you know what I mean? All kinds of crazy stuff. But the point between that heel strike, that load, that kind of point of launch, and here is very, very similar at the pro level. And so I think that's why we see it more similar, kind of like halfway to there, to the home plate. For us though, we have some kids that are just more efficient from this point to here, and then some other people are like from this point, and then they put their hands down, and then they swing up. That takes a lot longer. If we're having a hard time, if we know that's going to be a journey to iron that out, we got to fix the easiest things first. So the easiest thing with that is going to be, man, you're longer from that point of launch to in the air to contact, and so you need to get your front foot down as the ball's coming out of the hand. So I think that there's going to be a range that is appropriate. So here's where people get in trouble. This is maybe one of the most important parts. Being on time is so much about feeling the rhythm of it, and knowing the rhythm and the pace and the timing of your individual swing. So what I don't want to have happen is me say, your front foot has to be down when the ball is out of the index finger, because some of you would cause this. It would cause a little bit of a hesitation, and it's just like this little bit of a hitch. Where people get in big trouble is when they're like, okay, coach said front foot down early, and they'll go, you know what I mean? They'll have this big long pause, And And that's just bad because we work so hard to get all this kind of stored energy and this tension going. And then we have to like hold it. And when we hold it, it fizzles out. And then you have to start the swing from like a still inertia. And that takes so much more effort to get it restarted. Sometimes you'll see those people have a double load. And we don't want that. We want it just to be as soon as that front heel strikes the ground, it's launch. So as soon as it's boom, it's launch. It's launch right after that front heel. That's the last thing there. Some of you have, even some pros, like the hour pool, is like just a little turn in, toe tap, or some people are just heel up, heel down. The launch pad kind of stance is when that heel drops in after the load and you feel all this kind of force from your body connect almost like a straight line into the ground. When you feel that, when you're doing it right, you'll feel it. You'll feel this kind of instant like connection to the ground where all of this energy has to hit like a stiff front wall. Right when that kind of heel strike happens, it's time to launch. And so you need to learn the timing of your own load and how quick your hands are, and learn when your front foot needs to be down. And I'll leave it at that. If there's any kind of like homework to do tonight to kind of put this into action, it would actually just be to be in front of your mirror or whatever and start just working on your load. And like every time, I'm just going to be here. And you just know that this is what your load's going to be. And then maybe some of you are a little bit more. But the reason that's important is because you got to start learning the rhythm and the timing of everything that happens before that launch moment so that you know when to get that heel down. All right, guys, thanks.